All right, thank you, everybody. So last year, we were gathered here on a Thursday, not gathered in this room, and not all of you, but many of us were gathered for the Visionaries Tribute. It was 2 days after the election, and I think it was very meaningful for us to all be in the same room together. I know a lot of people drew strength from that. So we were living through one historical moment then, and I woke up this morning thinking about the historical moment that we're living through right now. And honestly, I got out of bed, I just jotted some thoughts here. In other words, I was dreaming when I wrote this. Forgive me if I go astray. So the moment I see we're living through right now is witnessing the cascading exposure of sexual harassment endemic to our culture. And we shouldn't be surprised by this in its broad outline. To an extent, it's something we all know. Each of us right now are having to deal with how we contributed to tolerating it and not doing more to challenge it. We knew it happened, but now we have a much more vivid image of what it looked like with a fat gut hanging out of a bathrobe. Now, we know that men can be victims of harassment too. We know that because Amy Berg made a film about it, Open Secret. Alex Gibney made a film about it, Mea Maxima Culpa. But unquestionably, women bear a greater brunt, to put it mildly. And that carries over into everyday sexism that isn't so dramatic as someone spilling their seed into a plant in front of you. But just as any liberal white person will never fully understand what it means to be Black, Hispanic, Asian, Arab, or another minority, I recognize that no man will really understand and appreciate the small and large obstacles that women regularly face, but we can try a lot harder to understand. Now, I want to resist getting too self-congratulatory about our documentary field, but it's undeniable that this is a space that has benefited from the extraordinary achievements of women who created things in this space. I think of Diane Weierman, who's sitting in the back of the room. She got her opportunity at Soros, which she grew into the Sundance documentary program and now participant. I think of Laura Poitras in the room. She leveraged her achievements as a filmmaker to create field of vision and help other filmmakers. I think of the filmmaker, first-time filmmaker, Jen Brea, who's in the room, who with an illness that kept her bedridden, still made the extraordinary film Unrest, giving voice to an ignored population. I think of Raphael Nehausen. I think of so many pioneers in this room. I think of Chris Hedges, Barbara Koppel, Christine Choi. I think of executives like Lisa Nishimura, Molly Thompson, Catherine Oliver. And of course, I think of our honorees today, Kara Mertes and Sheila Nevins. We're talking about decades of achievement. This year, Sheila gave us her wonderful book that helps us to better understand all the petty and not so petty bullshit that she had to fight through. I think about the casual undermining that takes place all the time of women in power. The remarks you hear over cocktails. She's a social climber. You know, it was really her cameraman who made her film for her. That's not the remark that gets made at cocktail parties. She wouldn't be here anywhere without her husband. You know, she has a trust fund. You know, she only got that far because she's so beautiful. I've said those things. I hear women say those things, sometimes with more of an edge than men. We're all got something to think about right now. We're living in a moment when we have to grapple with assumptions we've made, prejudices we live with, and work on making serious change. So let's take a moment to be grateful for the women in this room who have made the documentary space what it is today. Thank you.